All right, here we go. Let's call my good friend up.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How we doing?
I'm doing all right. How's my mic sound?
Oh, you sound good, man. Sound good.
Fantastic.
And Joe is the best way to call you right now.
Yeah, you can go ahead and call Joe in right now, or we can intro the game first. Are we live right now?
Yes, we are live. I have the menu screen up, but that is it. You are. This is your time. You do with it what you want.
Awesome. Well, then let's get Joe in real quick.
Okay.
Someone said my mic seems low. Maybe I should just move closer to me. How's the mic for me sound now, guys?
I think that sounds pretty good. Guys, let me know if the game is a little too much, too loud, or.
I am sure the game is going to be too loud. It's always too loud when it's streamed. I need to add volume controls, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. So actually, I should say that Tower of Guns is similar to Paranautical in that it is a roguelike-ish thing with person shooter combination. But unlike Paranautical Activity, my game is way less complete.
Okay.
It is 26% done. The build that's out right now that you can pre-order is 26% complete, but the next build is due out in mid-August, and you pre-order it right now and you get access to all the builds as I make them.
Awesome.
So,
and
yeah.
I gotta admit, the for 26% done, this is a pretty damn fun game, man.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Should we get in, Joe?
Yeah. All right. So, do I have him on?
Price point. Price is $5. Someone just asked the price.
Do I have Joe in? Oh, Joe Hills, correct?
Yep, he just joined the group chat.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know how to work Skype.
Joe's done a couple of Let's Plays of TOG and seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. So
nice. Where is he in my Skype thing? I'm terrible with Skype, it would seem. There he is. All right, giving him a call.
pick up, Joe.
Howdy, can you hear me?
There we are. Yeah.
Outstanding. Are my levels okay?
Yeah, it might be a little low. I don't know. It depends how
Talk
loud.
louder. I was worried about clipping. Because I'm in a hotel at a convention.
Oh, wow.
So a normal sound booth setup. So I just don't want to be upset in your stream with my low quality.
Oh no, dude, it sounds fine.
Outstanding.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Both of you, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we can talk about Tower of Guns.
Okay, well, I can start. I'm Joe, and I made Tower of Guns. I did pretty much everything except for the music is done by my brother, and my wife kind of acts as a producer and keeps me on track. I used to work full-time in the game industry, AAA proper world, but I worked for 38 Studios, and that company went out of business, and I decided I wanted to go work on my own for a little while instead of work for another company that was going to go out of business, because I can do that well.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. Joe?
I'm a Let's Player. I primarily do Minecraft stuff, and I got into Tower of Guns. I just saw somebody mention it on a forum, FPS roguelike. And
Nice.
I'd actually never heard of Paranautical Activity, and I love NetHack. And so I was like, oh my god, a roguelike first-person shooter. How has this never been done before? And of course, as soon as I put the video up on my channel, everybody's like, why aren't you playing Paranautical Activity? It's like, well, but I like this already. I already bought this one. So, yeah, I've had a great time playing the game.
The Paranautical guys seem like great guys. We've been really, I don't know, it's been really friendly. Like all of the different first-person shooter roguelike guys, like different teams, there's a bunch of us. We're trying to cross-promote each other, like be more collaborative than competitive.
Nice.
We're all indie, and it's not like we're charging AAA prices, and it's not like, you know, it's not like we really need to be in direct competition. It's not like we're talking about, you know, a $60 game that people can only buy one of. We're talking about $5 games, $10 games. And they're pretty divergent, too. Everybody seems like they're doing something different with their projects, so I don't think there's a reason for us to be in competition.
I don't see that either, especially because roguelikes are so bite-sized almost. Even when you have a good playthrough, it lasts, a few hours at most.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you play, you lose, you play again. It's not like you guys have competing 80-hour RPGs or MMOs that will eat people's lives and
Sure.
people each only have one soul, and that's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's room in people's attention span for both. For many different kinds, especially within the roguelike genre, for many different flavors. So are you going to go ahead and start up playing?
Yeah. I have it up right now. I have the choose a weapon and choose perks. I've only unlocked Junkman, and I have the peas and carrots pistol and the portable pizza thrower. Both very interesting weapons. And do you have any specifics out of those that you recommend I take right now? I have been using the pistol. I actually think it's not so bad, but I haven't tried out the portable pizza thrower yet.
The pistol gets really good when it gets leveled up.
Okay.
But the saw blade gun is probably a little bit cooler right off the bat.
Okay.
And how many times have you
Well,
played?
and also because you only have...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say, it's really hard to actually level up the guns in the game,
Okay.
Because it's so short right now,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
there's like the pea shooter might be awesome later, but like, I don't know, I have a hard time getting to level 2 on my weapons.
It is very tough to level up right now. It's basically because of what you said. The game is very short, and loot doesn't hang around all that long. That's why that Junkman perk exists. For the people who are like, I want the loot to hang around for forever, because it does disappear after about 10 seconds. But yeah, I mean, in the build I'm working on now, I've actually got level progression in, and it's way easier to level up your gun just because you're dealing with 4 levels instead of 2, or
Sure.
1 rather. So for perks, you might want to take Junkman because of that, or you might fall a lot. How many times have you played?
Only a few. I wanted this to actually be kind of a blind one because I have played so much of the other ones that I kind of want to have this be a surprise.
Okay, well then let's go with the speed up one because that
Okay,
will,
Yeah, that's what I went with the first time I played.
Yeah, that one. It makes things very fast, and fast is more fun for streaming, I think, because it makes things crazier.
All right, and so want to walk us through kind of what we're doing right now. We have currency that we're picking up.
Yep. This first room is basically just to get yourself used to the movement mechanics, pick up some currency, get yourself used to the UI and the little intro guy. The first room after this has the hug bots in it. Those
Yes,
guys,
which I feel terrible about shooting these things.
they're
Well, you don't have to, it's optional.
It is. It's optional.
But they have
Their own
loots.
level.
I don't track whether or not you kill these guys. So I don't do anything with it yet, but I think I'm going to, use the number of hugbots you've killed to either determine what bosses spawn or what loot spawns, or something nefarious. Well, that guy gave you a health up.
Yeah, no, that's very nice. And also, I noticed that we're a different character, and then the person that greeted us also was different. I had a butler the first time I played.
Yeah, there's 3 random stories in the game right now, and I'm not talking too much about what I'm doing in the story in the full game yet because I'm not sure if it'll actually be fun. So
Okay.
But yeah, there's 3 different people who can greet you right now, and it's your basic demo greeting. Hello, welcome to the game. Try it out. Here's what the blue gems do. The blue gems are leveling up your weapon along the right.
Right.
And when it's full, then you basically hit level 2, and then the weapon will get stronger or faster, or depending on what the weapon is, different things will happen. Particles get prettier. And if you get hurt, that thing goes down. So don't get hurt.
Okay, so by playing more skillfully, not only do you have a better chance of just living and not dying, but you're also getting, whoa, along the ground, you're also getting the chance to get more powerful and do better in general. So it's highly recommended to play well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you can say that about any game, but
Sure.
this one, it can be merciless if you get caught in a downward, in a tailspin.
Sure.
So I don't know. Have you played Cave Story? That's kind of where the
Yes.
level. Sorry, let me say that again. Weapon leveling mechanic kind of came from. Sorry, I just ate a bunch of spicy food, and now my tongue is all tied in knots.
Sorry to hear that, my friend. But no, this is what I would say has a lot of verticality to the room, which I'm sure many people that have played the game mentioned. This room is not a single, just normal, square room. There's a lot of craziness going on.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, like, Joe, you can tell me a little bit about what your impressions were when you first hit some of these rooms, but I was basically trying to do that, make it so that you were never really sure where you were supposed to go when you hit a room for the first time.
Yeah, and what I liked a lot about this room is a lot of the enemies were shooting straight across, and so I was like, okay, good, I'll just dive down in these foxholes, pop up, it's like a very timing-oriented pattern thing.
Sure.
And then I ran into the guys that shoot those terrible steel balls with the spikes.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you asked me to have some suggestions ready for this, and I've really only got the one, and that is make an alternate version of those that are like whiffle spike balls that still do the same amount of damage, but they're light enough that you can shoot them away from you. Because like I've had things where it's like, I'm running through a room and all of a sudden they just corner me,
Yeah.
and then I'm pinned and then I die.
You are not the first person to say that.
And having them be shootable, like I like the idea that they have mass, but like, these weapons are pretty intense. They should be able to give some push.
Yeah, I actually have been thinking about doing just that. And then also, I think that I need to thin out their population a little bit in some of the tighter, like, choke points. Because when I place them on either end of a choke point, that's just dirty. I shouldn't do that as much. Because it does basically stop you from moving forward, and you're like, why is blocked with spikes? I can't go anywhere. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and you're not the first person to say that, so I've been kind of thinking about how I want to solve that problem.
Like I said, I know you come from a 3D modeling background, right? You're an artist, primarily.
Yeah, I was, artist slash tech artist, so I was also doing a lot of the more technical things that the art team needs, but wasn't necessarily, an artist wouldn't necessarily be trained to do, like making shaders or, setting up, back when I was at 38 Studios, I was setting up a lot of processes and pipelines and conventions and setting up streaming, all sorts of nonsense like that. So, doing, it didn't take me too long to get ramped up on the programming side of what I needed for this project.
Well, like I was saying, all you need to do to justify them being shootable is just turn them into wiffle balls. Go to Walmart or whatever, buy a wiffle ball, just look at the thing, the little hole vent thing, just carve those straight in there, texture the inside, you're done.
That is not a bad idea. Oh, you got an easy boss. This boss must be hard.
Oh god. There's nothing hard about this as flying chainsaw disc robots fly at us. But chat's been mentioning this a lot, and it's definitely one of the first things that you'll notice. The aesthetic is amazing, and the graphic style is beautiful.
Thanks. It's kind of a poor man's Borderlands, but it's all my decisions were made so that I could make the artwork or the design or the level layout. All those decisions were made so I could do it as a one-man project. It's kind of an experiment to see how much I can push this with just me.
Right.
I think that, if I were to make follow-up, I'd probably get help. It's very large and quick, but, a lot of the decisions I've made so far have been kind of like, how can I do this as a one-man team? And even then, I'm not really a one-man team because my brother's helping me.
Awesome. Oh, Jesus. Oh, explosions. Oh, this is a bad situation.
Down. Yeah, you got him.
But yeah, that for being an easy boss, I've mentioned this before. The kind of the fun about roguelikes is learning the boss patterns, learning the items, so you know what to expect. It makes it harder when you don't know. But for one of the easy bosses, that was a little scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun about roguelikes, too, is that even though your character dies because there's permadeath, and, you can't call this a true roguelike, you call it a roguelike light, or roguelike, I guess.
Hugbots.
Even though the character is dying and you start over from the beginning every time, you're still progressing just because you're learning the game. You're learning the rules, you're learning the patterns, you're learning which items are good, which weapons are good. Oh, you got the hurt on touch item.
This is amazing. The death too. This is great.
Yeah, as long as you get really close to that guy, yeah.
Yeah, the poor Hugbots. Oh, we are doing a lot more damage. We have a level 3 pizza slicer, the pizza thrower, and this is one-shotting them.
Yeah, level 4 1-shot most players. So this particular room right here is, you know, even already as soon as I've unlocked level progression later builds, this room doesn't have the hug bots as much. They spawn not infinite, but there's quite a few of them.
Okay, because yeah, I'm able to get back to full health, kind of farm up some weapon mods and some money.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that little ramp right there is the entire game.
So. Okay, well, how about we... Oh, man, we're so close to level 5. Is there a level 5?
There's not a level 5. It maxes out at level 4. Apparently, the stream is saying that the volume is too loud. We should lower the volume of the game itself. There's a lot of explosions.
Yeah. Let's try that and see if that works.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no slider, so you have to use the Windows volume mixer.
Yeah.
Usually then, when I record a separate audio track from the game volume, and then I still have the game volume, because it's just such a loud game.
It is, and
it's hard to talk
volume sliders are on the list. It is still in development, you know, 26% complete. Hey chat, how is the volume now?
Sounds like it's better. All right, let's press space to continue. And we're going to start over with a different weapon. I don't believe we've unlocked anything that time. So let's do that. And I'm going to stick with the tunnel red. I like that. The additional speed, even though we have negative armor, I think it's not bad at all.
How many times have you died so far?
It looks like none because he hasn't gotten a consolation prize.
Yeah, I think I haven't died yet because I was really excited about it last night and I didn't want to play it until the stream happened.
Well, if you die, I think it's twice or it might be 3 times. Do you remember, Joe?
I think it's 3, but that's not definitive.
Right.
With 3 deaths, you unlock your first gun, which is a consolation shotgun.
Oh. It doesn't have to be your first gun. If you're really good, you might get something else first. But,
that's true.
There's
the get no damage thing and the find all of the secrets gun and an under par gun. The under par gun is everybody's favorite. So I should say that these rooms are basically randomly stitched together with all loads. So and even then, there's a limited pool of rooms. So even if you do see the same room twice, you may not see the same enemies because the enemies themselves, there's random configurations for each room. So it keeps it pretty varied. And then random loot on top of that and random power-ups and shops and stuff.
Oh, geez. The one thing that I'd say immediately separates it from games like Paranautical Binding, any of those games where you jump into a room and have almost like its own fight, is that the enemies don't all spawn at once, and I'll feel like I'm doing pretty well in an area, and then all of a sudden, like what just happened a moment ago, several turrets will pop up, and then all of a sudden I'm in another fight.
Yeah, well, you know, because especially for the larger rooms, you kind of need to have 2 different sections. You can kind of predict where the enemies are going to spawn after a little while. But
do you have an algorithm that determines that, or when you program any room, do you have to throw in several lists of possible enemy spawn?
Oh, there's a giant turret there. I have several lists of things that can spawn. I do hand author the population, but I've gotten to the point now where I can pop out a room, probably in about 10 minutes, and then, you know, making a couple of variations of that takes another 10 or 20, so each room's population goes real fast.
Oh, that's awesome. And you feel that that's because of experience, the engine you're using, or just how you coded it?
It's because of the route that I've taken to code it. Unreal has some things that are really awesome in this kind of development, and some things that aren't, and the route I'm using for population is taking advantage of some of the stuff that Unreal does really well.
Oh, wow, nice.
So this is a Unreal/UDK game.
And chat, does anybody have any questions at the moment for the game? Also, Joe, feel free if you have any questions. This is your guys' time. Whoa! Holy hell! Everything just started blowing up.
Oh, you just picked up a couple.
Yeah, those things scare me because I can't tell the difference between the spin bots and the explode bots sometimes until they're right next to me.
Oh, the actual spin bot guys? I may make them
like,
right.
Yeah, it's sometimes like part of the problem is the game is so dark. It has to add to this like constant freak out. Like, you know, you see something and you shoot it.
I may have to. Actually, Gamma's on the list too. The next build update, I've got a couple of sliders I want to get in. Volume and Gamma are two of them. For every build update, I do a couple of options, I do a bunch of different level variations, and a couple of core features. And the next build update is mid-August.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks away still. Yet.
One feature that I would like to request for that, although you can totally shut me down because it might not fit your vision at all, would be some sort of infinite mode.
I would love to do that. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I mean, I was just saying, like, that would be the sort of thing I'd love to just, I say, okay, guys, I'm going to do a stream, and people could just compete to see how many rooms they could clear. And it wouldn't be the same as the primary game with the storyline. It would just be like a challenge mode or something. But it would really help people probably test different things, because they'd have more opportunities to see different configurations on one run or what have you.
I agree completely, and I think that an infinite mode or an arena of some kind will be something that I'll be taking a stab at some point. It may not be until I've gotten the core game much further along, but I think it's a fantastic idea, and I really do want to do it. Because that kind of stuff, it's not that hard to make. You've already got the core mechanics in place, so why not try it and see? But I can't make promises.
Yeah, like even if you just loop the same, you only have 20 rooms right now, or what have you, and it's just like, well, we're just gonna keep looping them until you die.
Just ramp up the damage that they take, or something like the damage you take with each room.
Yeah, just it's one of those things where like your armor weakens every time, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, there'd be some things you could do. Just something so that like it would be helpful for people when they're playing the early versions of the game, not have the game over as soon as they get to the fifth room.
Well, in the new build, it would be a lot more levels to play through, a couple more levels, so it'll be a little bit more sustained to be able to actually level up your gun and play around and stuff. But yeah, I hear you. That's a fantastic idea.
This is bullet hell personified. I love it.
Dr. Turret is hard.
He's a lot easier with that gun than he is with the shotgun, with the Constellation gun.
Because does Constellation gun not do nearly as much damage at larger ranges?
Well, this guy has a weak point, and if you hit the weak point, you can't really hit. You don't. The Constellation gun is a shotgun basically, and it's not a precision-based weapon.
Sure.
So the weak point way up there is really hard to hit.
Nice. Yeah, that made quite a difference. Oh, and it respawns.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a really good decision to have the weak point move.
Oh yeah, to take it out. The chat says the sound is still too high.
Okay. Let's do 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 do. Let's do that. And chat once again, please let me know. Oh!
Oh? What happened?
No, you'll see.
Oh.
I came back to death.
Oh, but you unlocked the charger.
Did I?
Yeah.
Ooh, Constellation Charger. I like it. Let's go with this one. So what do you, obviously without trying to give too much stuff away, anything that you're comfortable with, what do you feel you would like to see in the later, okay, yeah, this is, okay, I like it. What would you like to see in some of the later builds yourself?
Me?
Yes, well, shoot, both of you, actually.
Well, I'm curious to hear what Joe thinks first, if you want to go, Joe.
Oh. Like, one thing that kind of jumped out at me, because I used to play a lot of Quake, and in Quake, the first monsters you encounter are not love bots. They are dogs and grunts. And I realized that all of the creatures in here seem to be robotic or automated somehow. So I actually wanted to ask if that was just a design decision for this level, or are there going to be non-robotic creatures in later levels?
They're probably all going to be robotic because, to be honest, it's an iteration problem. It's animating, modeling, and designing these things when they're robotic is way faster than organic. Having to do good deformation-based animation on a organic character is just more time-consuming, and it's really, because I'm one dude working on it. So
No, that's totally legit. I was just curious because I was like, I realized that like I said, it's all robots, and that's cool, and it actually works really well with the visual style and everything. So it's not a criticism. I was just kind of wondering.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely other kinds of robotic things, but they're all things that explode and do the little like gear giving rather than like flesh giving.
Right.
Which I guess I didn't even really intend for it to be, but it's kind of an all ages friendly game without really meaning to be because of the fact that everything's a robot trying to kill you.
There's not gore
You can
spurting
sell
out
it in
everywhere.
Germany.
I could sell it in Germany. The first game I worked on actually was initially banned in Germany because of violence, and it was Titan Quest, and that's not a violent game at all.
Oh, yeah, that is a damn good game.
Thank you. Yeah, I did almost all of the weapons in that game.
That probably took a little while.
I think there was something like 700 different models.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
there was a few.
Wow.
But yeah, I got to the point where I was cranking through those things.
Nice. Yeah, Titan's Quest is great. It's one of those games too that you can drop dozens, if not hundreds, of hours in and still have fun. Especially, I think it was the expansion added the secret level with the different named monsters that you had to fight.
Oh, I never even, dude, I could never get past Greece. Oh no, I got past Greece. I could never get past Egypt. In that
Oh,
game.
okay.
Like playtesting a game like that, you play through it like 10, 20 hours, and then they wipe your save state while you're working on it.
God.
It's like start from scratch, guys. So,
but I was at the good part.
right. So when you're working on a game like that, playtesting it is really fatiguing after your 100 level 5 character.
Yep. All right, time to fight the satyrs again.
Right. Exactly. You're like, I don't want to go after the Minotaur.
Yeah, there was a special, and I don't know if it had to do with beating the final boss, then it opened it, or if you just had special items. But I think it was either the devs or just they gave certain models like silly names, like Bob, and he would have like really overpowered stats, and that was a lot of fun. They gave a lot of really good loot there.
There's a secret. I don't know if they ever found it or not. If anybody found it, or I don't even remember if it was in the final game. But there was a bush that. It was like a bug where there was a bush model that had the satyr's AI, and so you'd be walking along, and all of a sudden this bush would start chasing you.
That's awesome.
It was pretty amazing. I can't remember if it made the final game, but it really freaked us all out when we first were playtesting, and it was only in like one place in the game. It was the satyr bush. I don't remember if it ever made it to the final game or not.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't remember that, but with a game of that size, especially depending on what decided the AI to turn on or not, that's awesome.
I can't remember. It might have been one of the developer pranks. Like one of the programmers played a prank on the rest of us during a playtest. But it was really funny. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
So you pulled the same boss twice in a row now. There are 4 different bosses.
In this early build.
Yeah, even in this build right now, there's 4 bosses, but this tower does spawn twice as often as any of the other ones.
Okay. And then I'm in the unfortunate situation to have that shotgun, which we mentioned was probably not the best train for this boss.
Right. I mean, you can still whittle them down. Like, I want to keep it so that the weak point isn't the only way you can kill the bosses
Sure.
at all. And not all bosses have weak points. Because I don't like the idea of you not being able to use the tactics you've been using for the entire game to actually fight a boss.
Right.
So, in general, the game is not a precision game, but if you have a precision weapon, then it can, it can help out with the weak points.
Sure.
Bosses.
Yeah, I don't feel that I'm at any less. I'm at a disadvantage because I have the consolation shotgun.
You're doing pretty well, actually. Like, the fact that you've only died once so far.
Give it time. But yeah, no, it's these games are a lot of fun, and although I do love my Bindings of Isaac, I do love my old school Rogues. These type of games where you go into the room and you kill the enemies, I do find it a little bit more engaging to have the shooter mechanics, the first person shooter mechanics, because you literally are at all times having to pay attention to some extent, whereas I came back from a pause and immediately died last time, whereas in Isaac, I can come back from a pause and I'm it doesn't matter. But I've also played a lot of Isaac too, so.
This is going to be a close fight right here. You're pretty close to... Oh, there you go. There's a bunch of health.
I'm trying to get that help.
How much
Right
of a
now-
resource problem would it be to put small lights on some of the enemies? Just like running lights almost. Because like some of them when you're in the dark, I mean, I guess you want to be disadvantaged if you're in the dark, but it's just sometimes you just They are so dark.
I actually don't think it would be that bad. Well, it might, because there are like 50 of them at times. You know, there are a lot of them.
Yeah. I'm not saying they have to be like light casting or light sources, just as long as they, something like a running lights or something. I don't know if the Unreal Engine lets you do that.
It does. I could attach a light component to each of the things, but it'd just be, you're talking about 50 or 60 lights running around, so it would be a performance problem at that point. I could make them glow a little bit brighter, and that might solve the problem, so you can kind of see them a little bit easier.
Do they have a natural glow to them?
They have a little bit where they kind of flicker, but yeah, it's not super bright now. So especially for the spin bots, I might have to adjust that.
Well,
chat just.
sorry,
So my wife just popped up in chat. So
nice.
Would somebody be able to mod her so she can post a link?
Yeah, mods, if you can click her name, and at the very far right icon, it'll say up. It should have a lightning bolt. Sometimes it doesn't work right off the bat. Hit it once, and if in a couple seconds it does not add a green sword to her, as she's chatting, try it again. I've been having some issues with Twitch.
Apparently she got timed out.
That's a Twitch thing. They should be able to revoice her.
Okay. Well, she'll pop back in, I'm sure, then. I don't know what she was trying to post. She was probably trying to post a link to the Greenlight page, maybe, or a link to the actual purchase page.
Yeah, we can easily do that. Guys, you can the mods can do that. I do have Nightbot commands set up to put links out for you as well. So exclamation TOG if one of the mods can do that for me as well. But so how much is the game? Where can you buy it? Are there demos available, or by purchasing it, is that going to allow you to get all the builds?
Buying it right now, if you buy it right now, you get all the builds in the future. It's $5 right now, and you can buy it from towerofguns.com.
Okay.
I see the Nightbot's actually linking the Greenlight website and my old art portfolio website, but not the actual Tower of Guns site. So,
okay.
So people can see some of my old artwork back when I was working in the industry, but towerofguns.com is where you can actually buy this game. And buying it right now gives you access to the exact same stuff that you're playing right now, that Tenchi's playing. And the next build you'll get is August, I think it's 16th or 18th, I can't remember, but there's actually a little section, like when you finish this little segment here, in the menu there's like a dev update section, and it says when I'm supposed to release the next update.
Okay, yeah, let's check that out then. And definitely, I guess, some other basics. A lot of fun so far, very twitchy. Each room is almost like its own little world, as it can have multiple fights in it. Great graphic style, good music. I did notice on the jump, that sound effect sounds very familiar.
That sound effect is actually, like, there are some stuff that's from UDK, because UDK does have a sound library that you can use. But that sound effect is me going into a microphone and just grunting.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, go back real quick and go to that menu.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a first-person Mirabeller.
Mirabeller, yes. Yeah, it is literally me just going like, into a microphone.
Nice.
And the Hugbot sound is a cat.
The hug sound is a cat.
Yes. The Hugbot sound is it's actually a cat in heat, but don't tell anybody that.
Mom's the word.
Right.
Secret.
Yeah, and I did a couple of like audio tweaks to it and made it sound more robotic.
Sure.
I am not very good at audio stuff, so fortunately my brother does a lot of audio things, so he's able to kind of help me here and there with when I run into problems. And like I said, he did all of the music, so he's done a ton of music, and more of that will be in the next build as well.
Awesome.
So this menu here, you can see it says 26% complete. Next scheduled update is the 16th of August.
Okay.
So that is very soon, and
about a month.
I'm working night and day on it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if I'm not eating or sleeping, I'm working on it.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're working on it and keeping times and dates and setting goals and stuff for yourself. This has been a lot of fun so far. What else would you like to put in on the game? It's a lot of fun, but we haven't really talked about a lot of the basics of the game. But I think, like Spooter said on the Paranautical, it's one of those games. I think if you, after seeing it for a few minutes, you kind of have an idea of if it's a game for you.
Yes, definitely. Somebody just asked also if each build is going to add about 25%. I'm not sure yet. There was a build that went out that added like 4%, but
Uh-huh.
now I'm doing bigger builds less frequently. So hopefully this next build will take it up quite a bit. So hopefully I'm able to get to the 50% mark. But yeah, the other question that just got asked in chat is who the Titan Quest guy was, and that was me. That was the first gig I had in the industry.
Yeah,
was working on Titan Quest.
that's awesome, man. That was a definitely fun game. I still have it on CD in my old library. That was a good game.
Thanks. And as for other things that I want to put into the build, I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, a lot of the core mechanics are kind of here. Like, as you're playing it, you know, it should feel like there's a complete game in here, just not a lot of content left, or not a lot of content to run through. And, you know, that gives you a good indication of where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm just adding content. Lots of fun things. More rooms, more bad guys, more bosses, that kind of stuff.
That seems like the fun stuff, too, because definitely the game feels done. And even though we're only playing the first level, it's been new each time.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And you know, hopefully it'll feel new so that long enough that people feel like they've gotten their money's worth. I mean, I'm never going to charge AAA prices for this. Right now it's $5 for the pre-order, but the full game will probably be, you know, more than that probably. So you buy now, it's definitely cheaper. But I'm not going for AAA game. I'm going for something that, you know, is budget priced, but people can get their money's worth out of it still.
Sure. Well, then the nature of the game in general, because of the added repetition, because of the unlocks and all that stuff, I think you're gonna get a lot for your money. Especially, I mean, shoot, $5. That's very cheap.
Oh, it spawned the big turd again. There's a bunch of other things that can spawn in here too, and it keeps spawning this guy. But he dropped a ton of stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
He may be dropping too much stuff.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff. Ooh, that's an interesting cluster of enemies.
What spawned? I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either.
Oh, it's just the spin bots and bomb bots. Like, I think in this build, the build you're playing, there's 9 different kinds of enemies, maybe 8 different kinds of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The new build has a lot more, but there's some bugs with them that I still need to work out, so I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to unlock them, for the new build or not yet.
Sure.
Let's see. Yeah, there's some pretty hilarious bugs with the new enemies where it's like, you know, they'll have kick to their bullets that is stronger than their movement speed, so they'll start firing at you and just kick themselves out into space.
That is awesome, though.
Yeah,
that
that's
is the best.
Oh wow, it's wow. That big weapon mod, the big blue rectangle that's quite a bit of weapon mod.
It does, yeah. That they don't spawn that often, but wow, you got a level 4 right now. You're one-shotting everything.
And a health up.
Yeah, you will tear through this for sure. Although you're probably not gonna get par, I imagine, because of the thoroughness in your loot picking up.
Ooh.
You should try for par your next life and see if you can get another gun unlocked.
Oh, okay, par by just beating a quick old school Doom style.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hard part about this is you gotta remember to get to the elevator as soon as you kill the boss. Like, I killed the boss one time, and I was like trying to get par, but I got this cool weapon upgrade. It's like, wait, I want to press E to use this, and it like throws me up in the air, and I can't get back down to the door in time. I missed it by like 3 seconds.
Oh no. Yeah, the thoroughness is definitely an old Binding of Isaac habit. Because that game used to be so difficult, I used to always... Oh, hey, look at this guy. Whoa!
Oh, yes, Longhorn. I know the arena. So that fire cube is handy if you can get him in it. But,
yeah, that didn't work out too poorly. Oh, yep, that's unfortunate.
What happened? Oh, the jump boots. Oh, you jumped out of the world. There's no collision up there. That is good to know.
Yeah, I did that. All right, we're going for par though.
Okay.
We're definitely going for par.
In general, I actually am trying to make it so that you can get anywhere than in a room that you can see. Like, philosophically, I think that that's something you don't see in first-person shooters these days very much.
Not at all.
And I feel like that exploration mechanic is something that it's fun, but people don't seem to recognize it as fun in a lot of modern games. So being able to get to every nook and cranny is fun. So there's going to be tons of those problems that I'll be working out throughout development, like finding places where I don't have collision or stopping from getting stuck in certain places.
Sure, yeah, no.
So I should actually say though, if you pre-order and you find spots like that, then let me know. I'm actively taking feedback on my forums. There's forum.towerofguns.com, and you can leave me feedback on there, and I'd greatly appreciate it. I mean, I'm actively developing this, and am actively looking for people's impressions.
Awesome, yeah, and that's something I feel as a indie developer you're going to find a little bit more often than a lot of AAA. Nothing against, once again, AAA, but I find that the indie game developers are a little bit better about feedback.
Well, I mean, the last project I was working on was the 38 Studios Kingdoms of Amalur MMO, and
nice, yeah.
It was an awesome project, a great team, awesome people, fantastic technology that we were working with too, but it was so secretive that when the company closed, I basically lost 5 years of work that I won't be able to show anybody ever.
Ouch.
You know, I kind of wanted to go the exact 180 from that. I wanted to be able to, you know, really share with people what I'm making as I'm making it, and get feedback in it, and adapt on the fly from what people are saying about the game. I feel like that is important. So I'm also blogging every day. I've got a dev blog, and I blog every day what I've been up to, and you know, being able to buy this early build and play it and give feedback. I feel like that's, especially coming from the AAA industry, I feel like this is refreshing how open I can be, because it's just my project. I don't need to care about, you know, keeping entirely under wraps the whole time.
Yeah, there isn't maybe an overhead hierarchy that you're going to have to deal with outside of yourself.
Right. I mean, I can respect the AAA industry for why it needs to do that, and the amount that they go through to you know, the amount of focus they put on their reveals and their exclusives and stuff, but I wanted something that was a much different development experience for this project. So yeah, I mean, it's instead of being a MMO made by hundreds of people for thousands upon thousands of players, it's a first-person shooter, single-player game made for one person by one person, is basically what it is.
Nice.
And the entire time in terms of the development. So I feel like we're ostracizing Joe Hills from the conversation here. Joe, did you want to chime in at all?
No, this is your day. This is your game. I'm just here to help, you know, pick your brain a little. One thing that you just said though that jumped out at me, talking about like getting the feedback and seeing stuff as you make it. Has there been anything that watching other people play via Let's Plays or streams like this really surprised you with, or is there anything people do that you're like, oh, I didn't think they would do that, or?
Yeah, I mean, especially with, in terms of like certain things, whether or not it's clear, like clarity is a big thing. Like I can see whether or not it just, like right here, Tenchi's getting caught in those spikes. And I can be like, all right, if I had learned how to kind of avoid those in my own playtesting.
Sure.
But the second, you know, the community got a hold of it, they started running into the spikes left and right. And I was like, okay, all right, I need to tone down that a little bit, shorten the spikes, man. So yeah, I've already kind of started adopting little things like that, but even big things like people will respond to certain weapons. I'm like, all right, I need to make that weapon even better, or make this other weapon that people don't like more fun to use, you know, things like that.
When you say shorten those spikes' lifespan, are these actually biodegradable? I guess I usually die too quickly to see them despawn.
They do fade. They don't despawn like a blink away. They shrink after about 6 or 7 seconds. Also, my wife just chimed into the chat. She was saying her favorite part is the watching how people react to the hugbots. That's her favorite thing, are those hugbots. Originally, the hugbots were kind of done as like a test class, a test enemy, and she made me kind of keep them and turn them into an actual thing that you see in the game.
Yeah, no, those things are awesome. I felt, I didn't even notice at first. I saw them and I was like, oh, I must shoot things. It's a natural instinct for me. And then they started hugging me as I exploded the last one, and I felt really, really bad. And then you saw me play it today, and it's like, oh wait, they drop loot, they must die. So interesting to see how that works out. Probably a mental thing that I need to probably work out.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you have any plans to allow people to ever backtrack, or is that just something
like go back?
Yeah, like for example, if there's a shop in one room and then I go into the next room and get coins, I can't go back and buy that item.
Right, you can't. It's really a moment of opportunity kind of thing. I've thought about it. The more likely thing would be after you beat the boss, all the doors open.
Oh.
so
Well,
that
because
you
I was
could
going to
go back up.
suggest, if you ever did allow anything where the doors open back up, having those previous rooms now inhabited by hugbots who are happily, like, clearing away the rubble or whatever.
That's not a bad idea.
You would almost have to maybe have them not drop loot or drop much less loot. Otherwise, you could probably just go back on the floor and max out your weapon mods.
Oh,
You're
that's
right.
true,
Yeah, you could. So you know, you have to. There's a couple of things that you have to play around to keep people from farming them.
Sure.
Like in here, the spin bots that spawn.
You could farm those.
You could farm those, and they should. Right now, it's broken, but they should have a no farm loot table on them.
Nice.
So you know, you should be able to. You know, you should be able to get health from them, but not weapon gems or money.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Turret, the way he kills the spin bots, I realized that was the only way I could beat him until you told me about the secret, weak point. I had to farm them for health to stay alive long enough to keep poking him with the shotgun.
Yeah, with the shotgun, he's a hard boss to kill. I think the only boss you haven't seen now is the Mama Spinbot, who was actually the first boss in the game
Okay.
that I ever made. But yeah, she hasn't shown up yet.
Scary.
I want to say also about the Let's Plays, Joe, is that my wife loves your accent.
Oh, thank you.
She thinks it is the awesomest thing ever.
Yeah, not everybody in Nashville or Tennessee talks like this all the time. This is, in fact, I don't. This is how we talk when we get pulled over. This is our authority voice. Everybody in Tennessee learns, if you went to high school in Tennessee, you know, the police are like, hey, you got a lot of bamboo strapped to the top of that there car. What you doing with it? Oh, nothing, officer. We're just going polling, down the river.
Hey, you just unlocked
fun.
her, by the way.
Yeah. Got our par gun right here, it looks like. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody ask why there was bamboo on top of somebody's gun. So that's awesome.
On top of the car.
That's
On top of the
awesome.
gun.
Yeah,
what we would do is
that'd be
we figured out there's a big earthworks near this dam.
Mm-hmm.
We figured out we could put bamboo rails down the earthworks like this giant hill, and then put sleds on top of the rails, and go like 8 times as fast as you could on snow. One guy fell off one time and actually burned a hole in his nylon shorts from the friction, like against the grass. Yeah.
That sounds amazing, though.
Yeah, that does sound kind of fun.
Yeah, we have to make our own fun down here in Tennessee.
I'm sorry, Hugbots, but you have delicious loots.
So you've almost got it already up to level 2, and you haven't even left the first room yet.
Yeah, and that would be one of those things is if that's something that you feel as a developer is an okay thing, or if you want.
Well,
I
sure.
love the idea of the hugbots penalizing you later if you kill enough of them. It's not on you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like I said, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make it so that it spawns harder bosses, or if it's going to be like it prohibits certain items. But there'll be some form of like choice between whether or not, like repercussions of whether or not you decide to kill them. But you may need to, because they're loot chests. They're just mobile chests. You haven't seen this room yet, have you?
No, this is brand new.
Good, cool. You're still seeing new rooms, and we're 45 minutes in or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely. And for something that's only 26% done, and like you said, you're just adding content almost now. That's a very good sign.
Yeah, and basically what you're seeing now in this demo, each room is almost kind of like a short story of what I'm doing in later in the game. Like,
Okay.
I explore a lot of the mechanics. Like,
Whoa.
you were in that room with the jumpy cubes earlier.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I do a lot more with those in future levels. In this first level, there's a lot of like short story versions of what you experience in later rooms.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh.
Have you gotten to the long ramp yet? We're working with a bit of a delay here.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately Twitch has
And some of the rooms are such larger scale too. It was really surprising.
You're getting knocked back down the ramp by the spike balls. This is one of those choke
terrible.
points that people are like, this is not fair. So
I like it though. I think it's good to have it's better to, I think, be a little too hard than a little too easy, especially in a game like this.
With this enemy layout, there's enemy layouts where it just spawns 9 different spike turrets, and it's just like there's no way around the corner there. So like there's tuning, and I'll be doing tuning quite a bit, all the way throughout the project. I'll constantly be tuning balance in the weapons, the enemy spawning, and placement. Those guys are fun. The turret arrays.
Oh yeah, no, I like these. It's fun to dodge them. It's very Matrix-esque.
It does get a bit bullet helly, but I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you?
They're predictable bullets. Yeah, so like
Sure.
you said, you could just bullet time them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing in the game, at least that I've seen so far, that it's just completely out of my hands. I feel it's like, oh, I died, it's because of my fault. It's not the game being unfair or, you know, whatever circumstances are against me. It's like, no, it's my fault that I stood there, or, you know, I'm not aware of the game yet, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is some point where any kind of game with roguelike elements does have, it can be merciless depending on the kind of loadout you get. You're gonna thrash this guy right now. That gun against Dr. Turret, it's so precise.
Right, that I can just
Yeah.
volley the weak spot.
Yeah. Yeah, you may not even have to move.
Oh,
in
no,
that
I'm
spot.
taking a lot of damage. I noticed the one thing, though, I don't notice, as I have also not... Oop, there we go. I don't notice
Oh.
when I take damage as much.
Oh, like a heavy damage versus a light damage?
Yes.
You know, I had that working so that it was kind of Doom style, where it would make the screen flash red for longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned it off for some reason, and I haven't turned it back on. I don't remember why.
It's not a big deal. It's something I think as I learn more and play the game more, it'll be something that I figure out. But yeah, that would be the only thing that I notice off the bat. But there's a lot of items here in this collection that I have not seen.
So okay, so that I think has about 60 different spots. The whole last row is weapon mods. And in the game right now, I think it's the first 2 rows are unlockable, and the rest of the items are still in development.
Nice.
So you've died 5 times. You have no wins because even though you beat the level, there's no win condition there because it's not the last level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the collection menu, which is not pretty right now, but it is in development. We're still only 26% complete. And let's see. Oh, please vote for it on Greenlight. I'm trying to think about what other like recap stuff I wanted to say. Vote for it on Greenlight, and you can buy it for $5.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, Joe, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask?
No, thank you very much for having me along, Joe and HJ. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet both of you, and this is a fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to seeing it grow more. For 26%, it is fantastic. This is everything's laid in on the game. It feels like from at least a player standpoint, and to see more and more awesome content added in is going to be. I'm looking forward to it definitely, and this will be something I'll be streaming for sure.
Thanks so much. I will happily toss you a copy of the early build so you guys can get some streaming videos up when the next dev update comes out.
We appreciate that.
That would be awesome.
More than you needed to do. But thank you, sir.
So, well, I think that makes sense to actually hand it out like a day or two early to Let's Players so that, you know, they can get their hands on it and make videos so that when it's available for people, the videos are there.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. It's good to see developers and people in general loving the Let's Play and streaming community more, because I don't know. I'm also biased because I'm part of the community, but it really seems that it's a great way to promote a game.
I think so too, but also I think that like Tower of Guns and Paranautical and Binding of Isaac and, you know, like these kind of games, they're really fun in 20-minute, 30-minute increments, which is perfect for a video to either make or watch. So I feel like, you know, these kind of games are well suited towards the Let's Player community, and I think I don't know. I think it's fantastic. It's better than reviews because people can actually see the gameplay. You know, it's better than trailers and.
Yeah, well, and that some rampant bias and/or corruption with reviews. Sometimes it's nice to be able to, like, even if I'm just bagging on this game, you can see that I'm either having fun because of my gameplay and my reactions, or it's just, you know, it looks like you don't care what I think. You see it and it looks good. So you're getting a very true and honest vision of the game, I think.
Right, I think so as well. And I think it's a good way to also, you know, especially with something like Binding of Isaac, you really kind of toss in, you learn, like watching sports, you kind of actually learn about the game as you're watching people play. Like, there's so many different secrets and different tricks and exploits in Isaac that I would have had no idea about if not for Let's Plays. And, you know, hopefully people will share Tower of Guns the same way. I certainly think that if people are watching a lot of videos of tower guns and playing it a bunch, and I'll feel like they're getting their money's worth, and I'll feel happy.
Awesome, awesome, man. So it's a great stance you're taking there.
So how are we looking on time?
We still got like 5-6 minutes. It's all yours, my friend.
Why don't you try and do one last run and try and par it again?
Okay. Definitely going with the machine gun then.
Machine gun is fun, and it's also like that gun can actually really, when you get it leveled up, it can really be a good speedrunning game.
Go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing people race on this. 'Cause
Oh!
I don't. I've seen these Binding of Isaac races, but I'm terrible at Binding of Isaac, and so. But I'm not too bad at this, so I'm just like, yeah, this is my end of the racing scene.
Well, if
Yeah.
you like this show, you should definitely check out Paranautical, because it is they're different in a lot of ways, but it's I think it'll appeal to the same people. If you like one, you might like the other.
Yeah, definitely. And being that both games are very cheap, it's for those that do earn a living through one way or the other. You hopefully should be able to purchase both of them without it affecting mortgage chances and such.
Well, it might affect mine, so you
true.
pre-order it now, and it'll help me.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, having our good friend here pay his mortgage and keep his home is a good thing. And then he can create more Hugbots. And we were talking about merchandise earlier. We may have to get Hugbots as merchandise.
Somebody was mentioning Hugbot plushies, which I think would be awesome.
Ooh,
Now,
yeah.
will they sound like a cat and
I was gonna say, do you think you could have this ready for Christmas? Because if you're gonna do merch, you need to get that merch ready by November 15th.
Yep.
So you can have all the Black Friday stuff, all lined up.
Good point. Good point. My actual release date for the game is my official release date is before the next Thief game comes out.
Okay.
Because I really like the Thief genre, and I really want the new Thief game to be good. And if it's good, I really am going to want to just not do anything else and play it for 4 days straight and not feel guilty about it. So.
Do they have an announced date yet?
No,
Or
they haven't. They could
Okay.
announce the date for tomorrow, and I'll be like, well, Tower Guns is done, guys.
Yep. And enjoy.
No, I think they're still a little bit of ways away, and I think I will beat that date significantly. But if I don't, then that's the end. When Thief 4 comes out, or Thief, I guess it's just Thief.
There we go. Nice.
Did you get Mama Spinbot?
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, that doesn't.
See, this gun used to freeze bad guys for like 1/10 of a second every time you shot them, so it was pretty overpowered.
Oh, it's okay. I have cover now. This totally can't go wrong.
Let's see, now you can't move. It'll fade away after 15 seconds.
That it went wrong.
That's the
So
one of the
many
cases
things
where,
do.
yeah, the spike got you caught in a corner.
That was fun though, and once again, we're taking a lot of damage because I am using a perk that reduces my armor quite significantly, instead of in the ability to grab speed. Then instead.
Yeah, well, there's perks also, like between the perks and the guns, you can build out a completely different way of playing the game. Like you can actually build out a very tanking class,
Right.
or you can have a very speedrunnery class. So right now, I'm kind of happy with the variety you can get from it, and I hope that I can maintain that variety throughout the full game as well.
For sure. Well, my friend, thank you very much for coming on, both of you guys. It was a pleasure to meet you. Any last words? Any last links?
Sure. Well, first I should say thanks to Joe Hills for coming in there and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Definitely.
Thanks for inviting me.
Follow Joe Hills on YouTube, and you can see all his awesome Minecraft videos. I don't even play Minecraft, and I check out his videos because they're fun.
There you go.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I was watching your building the Capitol Mall video earlier today, actually.
Yeah, that was one where I was like, oh no, I have to leave on vacation for 5 days to go to this convention. What could I build quickly? Washington Monument. It's just a pillar. Okay, next problem.
So thank you very much. And then also, I should say, please pre-order the game if you think you'd be interested in this from towerofguns.com, and please vote for it on Greenlight. And you can follow me on Twitter at @blankslatejoe. Also, you know what? I should I should spam the chat with some free copies.
Yeah, sure. You're more than welcome to.
So there's a free copy for people, and then I will spam one more in there, and then I will drop a third one in there during the next group. I don't want to take up any more time right here.
Awesome, my friend. Thank you very much.
I should have done those a lot earlier, but I totally forgot.
That's okay. I appreciate the love, and I'm sure the viewers do too.
Yes. So I guess we are out now then?
All right. Well, then I would love to talk to both of you again if you ever want to come on live or need to talk to me for anything. You guys have my Skype now.
Great.
Tenchi, I want to race you.
Yeah.
When he sends us these dev builds, we should race.
Hell yeah. I'm
You're
down.
kick my butt, but we'll do it.
Oh yeah. Anytime, my friend. It was a pleasure.
You too. Thanks.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks. Bye,
Good
guys.
day.
Thanks, viewers. Bye.